So why hesitate doing something amazing based on, you know...
It's fictional right now.
It is fictional right now. I know we don't have the means to do it now, but it is a certainty that it will come up. Like, pretty much an absolute certainty.
We should devote more time.
Definitely should devote more time. You know, the more telescopes we have in orbit, the more concerted effort we have towards finding these planets, extrasolar. It's inevitable, I figure, within 5 years, we're going to be able to positively identify another Earth-sized planet with oxygen and water vapor in its atmosphere. And I think that 5 years might even be a long guess.
We've already identified moons. Europa.
Exactly. Even in our own backyard. You know, it's prohibitively long to get there, which is a bit of a pain, but there was some interesting ideas put forth about having some type of heat, like small-scale nuclear applications, just as big directed heat generators to just land something on the surface of Europa and then melt a hole right through the ice into the oceans underneath. Once you're there, you're in liquid water, and you can just whatever, right? You'd have to basically drop a wire, have some means of transmitting up and down, but there's some pretty interesting plans for going there. Yes, I know. Good girl, Athena. Good girl. She's into it. Yeah.
What would she do? Who's that? Space dog.
There's Athena. Good dog.
First dog on the moon.
That's right. First dog, actually, on spacetimelive's intergalactic podcast. That's got to be some new record. Pretty amazing, actually.
I'm going to see if I can log on.
Yeah, check it out. So far, there's just one viewer, although my computer is not
used.
Not playing. Exactly. So we're reaching an audience right now. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. I'd like to take this time briefly while we switch gears a little bit and touch back on the social implications of finding another planet extrasolar. You don't have to follow me on Facebook. There's a link underneath that says log in without Facebook. Right, it's in the little blue writing underneath. Perfect. So to thank our non-sponsors for, well, no money, and quite frankly, I would love to advertise for them as the third most watched space podcast in the Milky Way. We do reach a couple quadrillion sentient life forms, which is pretty impressive, I think. You know, one day we'll get sponsorship.
Well, you mean gas sponsorship?
At least we're recognized by the ICA, Intergalactic Content Authority. So, getting back to extrasolar planets briefly, before we move on to the importance of specific, basically structures of infrastructure that need specific applications that need to be in space to promote general expansion of humanity out there. So socially, I can imagine there's going to be a lot of upheaval with politics and religion and people demanding answers with regards to this. What's there? Are we getting any signals from there? Can we send some signals there? How far away is it? You know, what kind of star? And how feasible is it to get there? There's a project going on right now called Icarus Interstellar, and it's a non-profit group that is essentially dedicated to studying and implementing a feasible probe to another star by the end of the century. Which...
This century?
This century. 21st.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a long ways off, but should be.
Yeah.
Should nearest star. Nearest star is like 25 million light years.
Oh, nearest galaxy is 2 million light years. Nearest star is 4.5 light years. It's like
Stars.
Yeah, it's like 40 trillion miles or something ridiculous like that.
It's a hike.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we would never even contemplate heading out there with what we use now for space technology. But
it's a technology that they'll have by then.
I know. There's
What
another.
What did they develop?
Well, there's another Icarus project, although it's Japanese, so you probably call it Ikaros or something. But it's a 20-meter wide solar sail, which is already transiting Venus. It was launched in 2008, and it's, or maybe earlier. I'll have to check the dates on that. But it's actually functional and transiting. It's past Venus at this point, and it's successful. It's showing that the technology of utilizing solar.
What's it called?
Ikaros, Ikaros. Nice. Producer and special guest Tim Campbell, ladies and gentlemen, with the pad type device to use internet on. Again, we haven't received any payments for sponsorship, so we'll hold off.
Launched
on
May 20th, 2010.
2010.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, gee, even later than
according to Wikipedia.
Oh, the that site that people contribute and yeah. Oh, but I can tell this is really going to get tough. So we'll say no corporate sponsorships. So Wikipedia technically
on December 8th it passed Venus. Sorry. Yeah, December 8th it passed Venus.
December 8th, 2010.
Past Venus.
In the same year?
Yeah.
Pooh, that is fast. Solar sails, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Very interesting. Now that relates to
that was the technology that I was thinking of that's under deployment or development.
Yeah. Solar sail.
To make bigger ones.
Exactly. There's a really cool thing. I don't know if it's Swedish or Danish or what, but the idea is not using the photons, but using the charged particles from the sun, deploying like long strands of conductive material in kind of a web and spinning that and catching the actual solar wind of charged particles. Look up that one. Look up alternate solar sails, and see if that one comes up. You'll know it when you see it. Grab some info. We'll touch back on that. So next, I guess going back to solar sails, photonic sails, we'll say, and now just to touch back on one of the first points that I spoke about was the deployment of large lasers into space and some of their applications. Now, the meteor that just blew up over Russia a little while ago has generated a lot of publicity for this type of defense system around Earth, or just even concepts. People are talking about it now. I mean, it sucks, 1,200 people got injured, but now people are talking about it. So getting some lasers up in space and having them as a drive mechanism for directly hitting solar sails, we could use them as in-system transportation, and launch that probe that Icarus Interstellar wants to go. But it's that type of thing that needs to be done as far as infrastructure development. I know.
Not the first time you've said that.
Launched that probe. Oh yeah. Oh man, it's good times. But yeah. So realistically, though, an application of technology, which now is pretty much possible with off-the-shelf stuff. We just need to scale it up, which is just an engineering challenge, not anything that we can't accomplish, although that might be giving engineers a little too much credit. No, it is what it is. They're just engineers. But yeah, so we start to get one of these things in space, and now its uses become tenfold. You not only are going to protect protect Earth from any potential asteroids if we're able to detect them. Use it for long-range communication when we start to have a system-based infrastructure. They've actually used lasers to transmit information back from Earth to satellite orbiting the moon as well. They did a complete digital image of the Mona Lisa and sent it via laser, which I think is pretty darn cool because we're finally starting to be able to package information into lights and photons and use them for.
He says he's watching.
I know. I've got 2 viewers on right now.
Wow.
I know. It's pretty cool, eh? Well, I should say we have 2 viewers. Special guest Tim Campbell is joining us on Spacetime Live tonight. If you're just tuning in, we've been touching on just a few concepts.
He said he texted you a question. Sorry to interrupt. Got a Spacetime Live question coming.
I want to hear about nanotube elevators. Oh! Well, this is a favorite among space enthusiasts, as well as our fan base.
Save that for the end.
You know what? We'll give a prelude right now, a prelude, if you will, to the conclusion of the discussion, which will of course be the space elevator. So. The concept of nanotube elevators. This was local space enthusiast Peter MacArthur who sent in his questions to us here at Spacetime Live. The nanotube.
Space beer.
Sweet. Yeah, space beer. Cheers.
You can't tell who it's made by.
No, you can't. It's a clear bottle. So. And I am legal to drink in every country and planets except for Sigma 5. they're a little backwards. So nanotube elevator, from Pete's question, that relates to the idea of having a space elevator, an orbital basically cable that's somewhere in the vicinity of 40,000 kilometers long, and that is not actually tethered to the Earth's surface, but is balanced with very powerful magnets to maintain its stability, and then it extends 40,000 odd kilometers above the Earth's surface to a space station that acts as a counterweight. Hello, Athena. And you can essentially just run cars up and down this space elevator to transport payloads and people into space. It's in the end, it's the natural progression of application of economies of scale to the development of space infrastructure. But we are admittedly a few years away from this, But there is a Japanese construction firm that has fully declared that they'd like to build it in 50 years. So I don't know how realistic that actually is, but
50 years.
50 years, Tim. You could have a ticket up to space for $100 a kilogram, say, is the estimated cost to move payload into Earth orbit at that point, which would be pretty good, actually. You may have to lose a little bit of weight, but
it's win-win.
That's Anyway, so nanotubes refers to the material that the cable would have to be made out of, because you can't just make a 40,000 kilometer long cable out of steel. It's way too heavy, and it's just impractical, really. So the more practical thing to do is to use carbon nanotubes, which are essentially microscopic, self-assembling, single atom thick tubules of hexagonal carbon molecular structures. And thanks, Athena.
You butchered that description of a carbon nanotube.
I know I did. Yeah, that was actually pretty bad.
Kind of currently looking at it on.
All right, let's give this another try.
No, you roughly got it right.
Roughly.
I'm curious though, in 50 years when the space elevator might be developed.
Yeah.
Will we have developed a better product to make it out of?
Make it, possibly. This would be very...
I just blew your mind.
Yes, you did, actually. Carbon nanotubes were the end-all be-all, and now this theoretical exotic matter has just superseded them in the realm of super materials. Huh. I must say I'm quite taken aback by this.
Yeah. For now, we'll
But
go
for
with
now,
carbon nanotubes.
nanotubes are the most feasible material to make this elevator out of.
Yeah.
Main reason being is at 1/6 the weight, they have roughly 100 times the tensile strength of steel in larger forms like cables or strings. Although we can't manufacture them longer than a few centimeters right now. So again, applications, economies of scale, these things will come about. I mean, actually, I can't remember the exact quote, but I read a really good quote about a comparison. 50 years ago, we were putting airplanes together with rivets and steel, and today they're made out of impossible composites and run by electronic computers that weren't even imagined. So, I kind of do agree with you there, Tim, that something's going to come up, but it's just going to blow everything away. I mean, something always comes up that blows everything away.
The longest carbon nanotube is 18.5 centimeters long.
18.5.
Yeah.
So that's the record of length right now.
Yeah.
Nice. Was that done by Raymore Industries by any chance?
No, I believe Raymore Industries is. They're developing money. They're trying to open the lab back up. They took your money and burned through it awfully fast.
Real quick. Real quick. It happens fast when you're not actually producing nanotubes. Oh, man.
Yeah, Raymore.
Yeah. So thank you, Pete, for that discussion point on the nanotube elevator. We'll get into that a little later on when we've touched on.
Maybe
when we've
Gabe
gone more
would have another. Maybe Gabrielle has a question.
Oh, does Gabrielle have a question?
Maybe.
We do have another viewer.
It could be interactive. Don't text him. If he's watching, he'll hear you.
Thanks, Space Brother.
There you go.
I wasn't texting him. I saw that I had a text. That's
Space Brother.
That's right.
Thanks, Union
Space Brother. Union Space Brothers. That's what it's all about. Yeah.
Hopefully nobody from upper management is watching right now.
I wouldn't anticipate to get any of them on until Spacetime Live at Twitter starts getting more followers than our local members of parliament, as well as other prominent political figures. We'll start to have far-reaching influence and policy. Say we could direct the Canadian Space Agency to become what it should be, what it definitely should be. Oh, speaking of that, bit of a tangent note. Dexter, the robot that was designed by Canadian companies and is orbiting Earth alongside the International Space Station, successfully, they did it successfully, refueled a mock-up satellite. And it was the first time that anything like this had ever been done, which is huge because there's, right now, I think, like something like over 2 times as many dead asteroids just orbiting the Earth, not doing anything, than there are active ones. So there's only like a little under 1,200 publicly acknowledged.
Asteroids.
Did I say asteroids?
Yes,
oh, and it's
I
satellites.
believe you did.
Well, that's why.
Try not to confuse the public.
That's true. That's true.
For the one person.
The one person who's watching might not be able to follow this.
Dead asteroids.
But dead satellites orbiting the Earth, and there's only 1,100 publicly acknowledged active satellites right now orbiting, and they're pretty expensive to put up there. So if we can contribute to refueling them and keeping them in service longer and preventing them from just becoming useless space junk and clogging up the spaceways for all kinds of other useful developments of technology, then that's a huge benefit. We start recycling in space, lower costs, that's just good business.
See, my feeling about space is that we should be polluting space.
I dig it. Because it's so big.
Well, once we develop this elevator to space, I think we should load it up with our waste that we can't get rid of it.
Shoot it.
Well, that'll just propel it into space.
That's true.
We'll never see it again.
We could start launching stuff into the sun. Just
burn it
vaporize it. See you later.
Hey?
Yeah?
Why not?
That's not too bad.
I'm pro space pollution.
I like it. Get it off Earth into empty old space. It would be amazing if we started getting rid of so much garbage in space, just offloading it all, just shooting it out of the space elevator. That we remove enough mass from Earth that we start to screw up its rotation and its orbit around the sun, and all of a sudden we start ramming into our own space debris. Oh.
I don't know what to say to that. Hope we don't get there.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I sure hope we don't do that.
It would be really nice.
I think we're getting off the topic, though.
Yeah, that's true. It kind of happens now and then. This is not. What are you gonna do, right? It's space. Things happen.
I got to keep, as producer, I need to keep you on top.
No, thank you. I do appreciate that. So we're gonna go back to space infrastructure. So now we brought Dexter the robot into it as like kind of a touch on some of the things that can be done to reuse what's already up there, and the importance of recycling and cheapness, because to develop an infrastructure and an economy in space is going to require an enormous amount of investment. Well, no pun intended, astronomical amount of investment. And any cost savings, any reusability, recycling, things like that needs to be leveraged and harnessed to the utmost of our ability. It's one of the principles of actually having a successful presence in space is not wasting anything. Nothing at all. Everything gets saved, everything gets logged, every piece of mass, every piece of everything is taken into account. So reusing all this stuff, great step. Awesome stuff.
Recycling your own pee.
Recycling your own pee. You could distill it to get the water out of it. Yeah, exactly.
National Space Station.
Yeah, you got it.
Got to get used to it.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. It's distilled water out of it. You're not actually drinking pee. Like,
it's recycled and filtered.
That's right. That's right. It's fine. You know, it would take some getting used to, I'll admit, but it's still fine. Yeah, life support systems is going to be a whole other discussion one day. Yeah, technological applications, where we are right now, and the way to design like whole systems in ships and stations and a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man. Construction in space, the inflatable habitats, that's going to be a whole other episode as well.
That's another episode?
That'll be another episode. Construction in space.
With inflatable habitats.
Inflatable habitats, there's one going on to the International Space Station in 2014. It's produced by a company called Bigelow Aerospace, and they're based out of Las Vegas, Nevada. And it's $18 million to get this thing built. Apparently. That's what the contract's worth. It is so... just imagine one of the modules of the International Space Station, the aluminum can style. This thing is, it's an aluminum can style with radial arms all around it, and in between those are, it's material that's infolded on itself, so it can fit in a rocket, launch into space, and then be deployed from the rocket, docked to the International Space Station, and then pumped up and pressurized with air, and it inflates to an internal volume of 330 cubic meters. It's enormous, and it's going to hopefully begin revolutionizing the way that we utilize our space in space, because that's a really important thing, because we're humans, we're social, we can be claustrophobic, we need certain things in order to function properly. That's a whole other episode. Psychology and space madness. Like, man, yeah, having connections, any type of long-term voyages, this is going to just be crazy, the stuff that starts happening this century. I'm glad we get to be around for it.
See, I feel that we're just going to miss out on the good stuff.
The really crazy stuff.
Like, if we had kids, they'd be seeing some cool shit, I think.
Yeah. They might see, like, a warp drive and be like, well, yeah, no, we're just going to hop over to Proxima Centauri for the weekend. No big deal. Well, maybe not for the weekend, but, like, for, like, a couple years, maybe they'll be like, no, we're going
for a weekend.
We're going.
It's just going to take us 12 to 15 years.
That's right. That's right. But with time dilation, it'll be a weekend trip. Just 15 years for you guys. You know, no big deal.
Understood. Oh, I'm falling behind on my space sounds here.
I know. That's
all right. I just realized I was looking up stuff.
I'm actually falling behind on the background dubstep music as well. So I'm just going to put on...
I just received news that our viewer...
Yep. Peter?
He's tired and needs to go to sleep.
Well...
Either
he
worked very hard today and had to go to bed, or you put him to sleep.
Well, hopefully,
which is good either way.
Yeah, actually, I think I take comfort in that. Regardless,
he's lying in bed thinking about space right now.
Awesome.
You reached out to him.
I love it. So, would like to wish a good sleep and peace to our local space enthusiast and friend and space brother Pete MacArthur from Spacetime Live tonight. Take her easy. And Tim Campbell, special guest.
He downloaded an app to watch this, apparently.
Nice.
Devoted viewer.
Oh, producer Tim, would you be able to...
Are you signing off?
No. Oh. Would you be able to tell Pete to email or text read his email so that he can be added to the Spacetime Live email list?
I will ask him.
Awesome.
If he wants to become a member.
That's right. Well, so then I can send out the notifications for when the show's happening. And I think I found the format. We're gonna take it on the road.
Laura Pomplamoose might be tuning in.
Awesome. Welcome. Everybody welcome. Looks like we may have another viewer.
Actually, I don't want you.
Block. Just kidding, Laura, if you're watching. If not, I don't think so, because I still only have one viewer. Probably Alexandra. Hey, babe. Anyways.
I hope we're still dating.
We're really good. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, well... 27:20.
What?
This is 27 minutes and 20 seconds, how long we've been broadcasting and talking.
Not bad.
Not bad. This is a good start. Oh. Now, a little more, I'm trying to use these opportunities to work on the format, too, because I think part of the strengths of what this can be is just the loose, free-flowing format that we can get with just friends having conversations about something interesting and inspiring like space, and kind of out there that you can just apply all kinds of crazy ideas to, and you know, shoot the shit, have some beers, go outside, and...
What are your feelings on Iran's space program?
Oh, I'm not even sure they have a space program.
I'm pretty sure they took a picture of a monkey.
They took a picture of a monkey and said, this monkey went to space. Yeah, he's out there right now. Yeah. Kind of like the North Korean nuclear test that didn't release any radioactive isotopes.
Yeah, it was very small.
Yeah, no particles have been detected. Although there was seismic activity detected. Huh, weird.
Got a good airtight area, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, radioactivity.
Oh, drag it in for space curling.
Ooh.
Oh, they got there.
Nice. What space team's on right now?
Space Ontario and Space Canada.
Ooh. Who do you go for? That's like the nexus of the universe for us.
I know, it's weird. I'm gonna look at how good looking Ontario is.
Well, I wasn't.
Ontario is made up of some rather hot space colors.
Yeah, those are some hot space curling babes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually curling's fun. I've thought about getting into it. Well, I mean, we toss enough pylons. It's actually,
we might as well start sweeping.
It's actually feasible. Oh man, I think you got a text there.
Oh,
nice.
Pomplamoose is asking what the debut is.
You know what? Tell her.
I will.
Yeah.
I'm telling.
Yeah.
Continue on though. You can't be distracted by the producer.
Well, we were just taking a little bit of a break. It's a free-flowing format, and now we're going to talk about a couple of key points of infrastructure that are needed in space. One is fuel. 2 is raw materials. And 3 is manufacturing capabilities. Manufacturing capabilities, my big thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and read a couple of articles detailing some applications for this for space, is 3D printing. Now, have I talked to you about this before, Tim?
No.
No? All right. So, brief overview of 3D printing.
I know about 3D printing.
Exactly. So it's essentially like 2D printing, but in 3D.
Well said.
That's right. It functions right now primarily, most models, by putting in spools of material. So it's like a string of plastics, ABSs. Sometimes you can put in different metals as long as the arc at the tip can heat them up to those temperatures, and then they're deposited wherever they need to be in order to create the structure. So some type of European company and the ESA produced a 1.5 ton block out of material that is similar to generally moon dust and regolith. So they're just like the everyday all over the surface moon rock, similar magnesium compounds, and they produced a 1.5 ton essentially prototype of a building block. And what they'd like to do is look at the future deployment of 3D printing technology onto the moon in order to print these blocks and build structures on the moon for habitation, industry, bases, all of the above. That's probably, I mean, in my opinion, that is the next logical step as far as like where we need to base ourselves for infrastructure. Like building stations and stuff in orbit, that's one thing, but we need things to provide materials. The moon's stable, it's already there. Like bringing in asteroids for specific raw metals and rare metals and precious metals and other, or like semi-organic volatile compounds and things in order to produce chemicals and bio applications in space in the future. But the moon is a really, really natural stepping stone for us to go to. So this could potentially be huge if we've got available 3D printing technology to be deployed to build things in arbitrary number, 15 years' time.
15 years. Ambitious.
It is ambitious. I know.
So you think we could be building stuff robotically, or you'd have a settlement?
You would probably be doing both. You would have some people there rotating, working robots and construction material via remote control and via off-site stuff. So even though the moon's close, there's still a few second delay. It would always be more advantageous to have people on the ground. And eventually settlement.
We're already talking about an inflatable settlement, maybe.
Yep. Yeah. You could just bury them, maybe. Go and dig out a trench, bury the inflatable settlements, and then throw the dust over top of it. Or print out these blocks, and then build up a structure, inflate a few things inside the superstructure, and then those blocks will provide you radiation shielding from the cosmic rays, or not cosmic rays, from the solar wind, and all the charged particles from the sun. It'd be pretty awesome. There's water. There's tons of water on the moon.
There's water.
Oh, there's tons. There was even a very recent article. I caught a link through Twitter on what's termed the Genesis rock. It's one of the rocks brought back by, I think it was Apollo 15, and it is believed. Exactly, supposedly. But we'll predicate this discussion
upon I digress.
The theory that yes, the moon landing happened. Beyond that, another show. So, this thing's called the Genesis rock because I think it's basically from when the moon was first formed. It fits the characteristics of that type. It's old. Anywho, they found hydroxyl, lots of hydroxyl bonded within the structure, indicate like it's water presence. Oxygen, hydrogen bonded together, just OH groups, and they're all over the
water
place.
In the poles. In the moon.
Water on the poles, but this is it's everywhere. It's like if chemically we can release it. If we find a way to do that, as opposed to just getting solid ice and like mining it, which is what I would like to do essentially, is just start chewing it up with space backhoes, moon backhoes actually, and then transport it to a factory and start processing the water. You could do once you got water, you can do pretty much anything on the moon. Industrial processes supporting life. Break it up into rocket fuel, liquid oxygen, hydrogen. Be wild, just wild. Yeah, seeing 50 million people living on the moon one day, so good.
50 million.
50 million.
I can see us overpopulating the moon. Excellent.
Oh, there's way too many people. There's so much moon garbage around here. It's ridiculous. God, I need to go to Mars. This place is a disaster. Way too much moon garbage. Yeah.
I think 50 million might be a little much for the moon.
50 mil might be a lot. It may be a lot. But one day.
Considering you probably, for now, would only want to live on one side of the moon since the other side's eternally dark.
Sometimes I think it wouldn't even matter, though.
Actually, that's not. Yeah, it is. It'd be reversible. It'd be lit up by the Earth.
Nope. It's always dark to the Earth.
Yeah. It's always dark to the side you can't see.
So
the sun still hits it.
Yeah, the sun hits it. The Earth doesn't.
It's lit up. We just can't see it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I dig it.
Or am I incorrect?
I think
it doesn't rotate.
No. You're correct in your view. I think I'm gonna catch you on misleading our viewers this time.
Yeah.
And it's not the light.
I know that.
It's not the light from the Earth that hits the dark side of the moon. It's the light from the sun.
No, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like I meant satellite instead of asteroid.
Mm-hmm. But if you're on the moon.
Yes.
If you're on that side, the other side.
No.
Weird.
No, because
if you're on the moon, it'd be all lit up.
Yeah. If you're on the moon and it's light out because you're getting the sun, you could see the Earth. If it's dark and the Earth is essentially then between you and the sun, you're not seeing much. I mean, you'd probably see like an outline of it if you look.
The moon doesn't rotate.
No.
It always faces the Earth at a certain point.
It's tidally locked.
Tidally locked.
Yeah.
So as it goes around, it would have night and day as the planet does. No, it'll be eternally lit.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's 2 points on the moon. One at the North Pole, I think, which is in perpetual light 87% of the year. And there's one place at the South Pole, which is about 84% of the year. And there's probably other places too, but it's dependent on the elevation of the landscape, et cetera, and where exactly, how far down the pole it is on the globe.
Yeah.
So those are the regions that contain the water as well, being in the rims of craters, which are perpetually dark. So it never sees any light. So you get like the light's literally just passing over the crater and everything inside. All of what's around that rim in there is in constant darkness. It's been there since its formation, never seeing light. Yep. And if it was a volatile asteroid or a comet, something with lots of water content, smash, boom. There is tons of water up there. Tons of it. Oh, we just got to get some moon backhoes up there and some moon Matt Ridleys. And
no, we don't want any of them up
Is there, by the way, really good job on those things. Do we have... Yeah, on the space cabinets. Do we have space electricity here for our broadcasting machine?
Over here.
That'll work.
Are you running out of...
Yeah, I've got 10% left.
Uh-oh. Oh, space perp.
There we go. Let's get this guy in, and we will be set to continue the discussion. There we go.
I'm gonna get a little more comfy for the discussion.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting a little comfy too. This has been good though. This has been a really quality broadcast. I hope our viewers are happy. I've really been enjoying myself. I know producer Tim has been enjoying himself as well. It's been an informative and entertaining and just darn right interesting discussion.
Darn right.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so we'll get. You know what I'm thinking is. The idea, you're right, I can't be checking my phone or texting or doing things. It's too distracting during the show. So having the producer be able to field these questions and stuff, that's exactly what I need. Yeah, that's exactly what the audience needs. It would be a disservice to the audience to...
That's true.
Thank you. Yeah.
Service.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you know what? I'm thinking 42 minutes on air, inaugural show. I think
pretty good.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of topics, and I don't want to bore the audience at this point. We're gonna have to call it for the night, and let you know.
Not getting any more comments coming in from viewers.
No more from the viewers. No. I mean, it's late on Friday night. I mean, people might be going to bed to get up early and take on side projects and stuff. On the weekend.
Our Australian viewers are just getting up, though.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. They always do everything backwards over there in Oz.
That's right.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know what? I think producer Tim will take this time to thank our audience, thank our viewers, and wish everybody a safe and happy night from Spacetime Live. I am your host, Reed Mackay, the face of space. Thank you, Tim Campbell, for acting producer tonight. That's wonderful job, and thank you for all viewers for tuning in. It's been great talking to everybody. All the best.
Well done.